And welcome back once again to The View from Here, Behind Enemy Lines, ladies and gentlemen. I want to remind you to please rate, share, and give us a rating so that it beats the algorithm and we can expand the viewership of the podcast on whatever platform you're on. We're on several platforms, but whatever you're watching on, please give us a 5-star rating. If you can't give us a 5-star rating, give us a 4. We'll take that. Don't give us a 1. If you're going to give us a 1, don't even bother. Anyway, we're here welcoming Nick Marcario, an old friend of Mike's.
Right. I want to introduce him.
Mike wants to introduce him.
Right.
I don't want to talk over Mike, but I'm going to keep him from speaking. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, anyway, the thing is, I was talking to Nick the other day and invited him back. So this is Nick's 3rd time back. And I just want everybody to know, though, that Nick is suffering from network syndrome, so he has some difficulties. You know what network syndrome is, don't you, Roy?
No, I have a feeling I'm going to learn.
That's when you've watched the movie Network and you start yelling, "I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore."
That's about right.
Okay, well, Nick, take it away.
We all have that. So, okay, Nick, let me ask you, what do you think of recent developments in, for example, that are about to affect the fight for our Second Amendment rights and continue to, like the Bondi Beach thing? Obviously, 2 Muslims, I'm not even going to say radical Muslims because they are Muslims. Islam tells you to kill the infidel wherever they are.
They don't have to be radical. They're just Muslims. They don't have to be radical. Yeah.
You know, and Australia, which has the most stringent gun laws, probably in all of Asia, wants to institute more gun laws. Okay, and then you have this Brown University shooter. A couple of people have said, "Oh, he came in and he yelled something." Somebody said he yelled something peculiar, but they won't tell us what he yelled. I have a feeling he goes, "Allahu Akbar." All right, but they don't want to tell us. And the cops, there are 800 cameras on that campus.
Yes.
All they give us is, as Tim Poole was saying,
yes.
The videos they gave us. You see Bigfoot videos that are clearer than that.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're hiding. So they're hiding the fact that this is probably a fucking Muslim.
So what do you think, Nick?
Well, I think on the news last night, as a matter of fact, they were interviewing the woman. I forgot what her title is there, but she was saying we have very few cameras here. Very few cameras.
The president of the university.
Was that the president of the university?
Yeah, and 6 hours later, she had no idea why that class was there on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's something going on.
As always,
there's something going on that we don't have a clue about, that we have no idea about. Just like everything else in our government, in our country, there's so much shit going on that we don't know about. We think we know about it, but we don't know anything.
We probably know the truth, but then we're called conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
The thing is, our conspiracies have been proving true lately, the last few years.
Yeah, I know. So lately, so those things really, I mean, when is enough for people? When is all this going to end? It's never going to end.
When they disarm us.
No, that's not the answer, though.
No, but this is their goal, I think. I mean, look what they did in England and Australia. They disarmed their people 20, 25 years ago, and now they do whatever the hell they want. Australia had camps for people who wouldn't take the vaccine.
Really?
During the pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really at a loss now. You know, the things that are going on are just, you know, it's happening now faster than it did before. This is happening more and more often now than it ever did before. And
well, I think it's accelerating because of Trump.
You think what?
They lost control when Trump beat Hillary. I think they accelerated their takeover.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably. Yeah.
Was that your phone?
Yes, I got it. I got messages from people, but
Yeah. Why don't you check your messages?
I already did.
Thank you.
Okay. This isn't live, so they're not calling you to say, get that guy off the.
No.
No, I wouldn't send him that. So Nick, again, what do you think about all this?
I don't know. I'm at a loss. I'm really at a loss for all this.
So what exactly is the cause of your loss? Like, what are the holds that are there that don't allow you to come up?
Okay, you know what my biggest problem is now? As far as paying attention to things and how things are happening, I'm trying not to pay attention anymore. I'm trying not to pay attention because I am so sick of our government. I'm sick of the Republicans. I'm sick of the independents. I'm sick of the Democrats. What they did when they shut this country down for 43 days, I feel so fucked. I feel like they don't give a shit about anybody. I really feel that way. And I told Mike the other day on the phone, I will never vote again in another American election. Never. And I'm a guy who always said, oh, you got to vote. You know, not only is your right, it's your duty. And I was very big on voting, you know, even local elections. I thought there was never enough turnout. Now, that's it. I'm done. I'm completely done. You know why? I wrote a few things down so I wouldn't ramble too much. But so here's my thoughts on that kind of stuff is that, you know, Schumer wanted and received leverage so that the Dems could get what they wanted. How dare he even make a statement like that? They did this for leverage. He wanted leverage. His idea of leverage was to hold the American people hostage to the democratic demands, closing the government, allowing lower income constituents food benefits to stop, and shutting down some vital avenues for health services, social benefits, domestic aid, which so many have relied on to survive. And Congress did nothing to stop this. They did nothing to stop the shutdown. Instead, what they did was to make the Epstein files a priority and to fight for the innocence of Donald Trump. The focus of Congress is to ignore the needs of the American people and stick to their own agenda to what is best for them. That includes the Senate as well. So, how many politicians were not paid during the shutdown? They were all paid. How many politicians lost the ability to pay for food, clothing, shelter, and the basics that should be afforded to every American citizen? None.
Not a single one.
Not a single one. The shutdown they created was to affect the ability to fuck the American people while demanding support, understanding, and pushing their agenda, which allowed them to line their pockets with the money of their disgusting corporate efforts. They had not been paid. Had they not been paid during the 43 days of the shutdown they created, this would have been resolved in an hour and 23 minutes. Shame on them and fuck them. After 9/11, we all said that not all Muslims are terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslims. So I can say now of our political leaders, not all scumbags are politicians, but all politicians are scumbags. I will never vote in a political election again. That would mean I support their personal and their party's agenda and stand behind any and all bullshit they spew while trying to convince the American people that they have a voice. We don't. That's it.
Well, unfortunately, the Democrats, they will get out the vote. They even bus people to the polls all the time. People who can't get there on their own. So that would give them. I mean, if everybody who was disgusted, and I think most Americans are, with what's going on, and with the inactivity of and powerlessness of the Republican Party, because it's run by rhinos, not real Republicans.
Yeah.
I think it would play right into their hands, and God forbid we get the Democrats back in power again. I think it'll be the beginning of a slow end to the country.
I also think that the behavior of the Democrats dragged the Republicans down with them.
I agree that. Yeah.
So definitely. The thing is that I I do agree with the shutdown. I'm one of the people that actually believes that the shutdown was a good thing. Yes, it hurt some people, but the fact of the matter is,
People.
yes, but the fact of the matter is that overall we did not add another $1.5 trillion of debt, and they're actually looking at these food stamp programs and stuff, and you have to requalify for them. And guess what? There's a lot of fake people out there that are getting food stamps that don't deserve it.
Well, wasn't that the whole idea of what Musk was supposed to be doing in his time with President Trump? Weren't they supposed to be clearing all that kind of bullshit up and find all the stuff that's been going on with that? Wasn't that a big part of it?
Doing that.
Be what? So why aren't they still doing it?
That's what I asked. Now, my understanding is Doge is still working, although quieter than before because it's not anything new anymore, and they're finding things out. I think they are gathering intelligence right now, and then hopefully they're going to strike all at once.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, the problem with Doge is that Doge has not officially been established by Congress as a government organization. So their hands are kind of tied. But so the American people have to ask the question, not whether or not Doge is a good idea, but if Doge is a good idea, why aren't we establishing it and acknowledging it legally? And the answer is it interferes with a lot of the pork that's out there, a lot of the graft. The thing is that, like you said, there's a lot of terrible things going on in government and on both sides. Doge is Doge is a pit bull that's going to hit the first freaking thing it sees. You know what I mean? It has no loyalty, has no compassion. There's people out there, and they've been making money like this. Like look at Pelosi, she's a multimillionaire. Look at Obama. He made $30 million while he was sitting behind the desk, going to sleep at 6:00 in the p.m.
Ilhan Omar. Yeah. She's worth $30 million all of a sudden.
Yeah, no, I know. But Mike, you said
so is AOC.
But that's true of every Somali. Okay, that's not fair to single her out.
Yeah, but the you said that because of the shutdown, we saved 1.15 trillion. Was it
1.5?
They didn't allow them to add that on, which they wanted to.
So, but with all the tariffs that Trump's been bragging about, how much money is coming in with the tariffs? 1.5 trillion. Is that really a lot? When he talks about the money that's coming in from the tariffs?
Well, the tariffs haven't really started to pour in yet. I mean, some money is coming in.
Well, no, Trump was on TV the other night when he
was later on. Sorry,
when Trump was in Pennsylvania the other night, he specifically said, I don't remember what the number was, but there was a large number of trillions of dollars.
Was that Trump or Vance?
Trump. When Trump was at the casino last week, his statements was the trillions of dollars that have come in because of the tariffs, and he was bragging about it. So if that much money is coming in, what is 1.5 trillion?
It takes time. First of all, the investments that have been promised by various foreign elements, they are investments, they're promises. Okay, so the ball is rolling, and so it's going to take time. Nick, you were in the medical industry. The fact of the matter is, sometimes in order to heal, you have to go through a painful period of removing all of the bad. We're still doing that.
I'm not against the tariffs at all. That's not my point. I'm not against the tariffs at all. But when he said last week when he was in Pennsylvania here, he actually said that these trillions of dollars are coming in because of the tariffs, that they're already in. So what the fuck is $1.5 trillion?
I'll tell you what it is. The $1.5 trillion was money that the Democrats wanted to put back to the NGOs that were stealing all this money, recycling it, and funneling it back into the pockets of Democrats. That's what the 1.5 trillion was. That was just money laundering for Democrats.
And that's why people weren't eating and weren't getting paid for the work that they did.
Well, the Democrats don't give a shit if somebody doesn't eat. Because they're not getting their graft. They have to get their laundered money.
But to me, it's both sides. It's Republicans and Democrats.
Why
would it take 43 days to get this country back?
Because of the filibuster. Because the Republicans needed 60 votes to reopen the government to get that continuing resolution, which was a clean resolution for a change. Okay, and it was the same resolution that had been voted on 3 times before under Biden.
And it didn't happen, and they kept not voting on it because Schumer wanted to hold the American people have leverage, leverage for that.
Right. So Democrats,
so that the Obamacare can still keep their fucking sanctions.
But just remember, it's not the reason why the government didn't open was because the Democrats denied it. It wasn't the Republicans saying no, we don't want to open it. They wanted to open it.
The Republicans voted to open 13 times at least.
Yeah, I watched Mike Johnson every night, and he would say the same thing. They tried. The Republicans tried. Democrats will just not sit down.
The law is the law, and you're stuck with it. So it's like, and the thing is, that's why they nicknamed it the Schumer Shutdown, because he was primarily responsible for it.
I agree. I agree with that.
And I agree with our side that we did not cave in. And it was the first time in a long time that the Republicans just said, go fuck yourself. We're not going to put up with this bullshit. So in truth, that's what it looks like when somebody stands by something and is willing to take a beating to say, no, you can't do this.
Yeah. It's the one good thing that it's the one time the Republicans in this past year have shown any balls. Okay. Because they've been in control since January. And you know how many bills they have passed all year under Trump?
I thought none.
5.
5. Okay.
And hundreds have been passed. The least amount of bills that were passed were under, I think, Trump in his first term, 170, I believe. Okay. Clinton, I think over 1,000. Obama had 200 something bills passed and so forth. But in this past year, we've only had 5 after what, 10 months, 11 months?
Yeah. Well, I think that has something to do, too, with the executive orders that Trump signed. That they didn't have to go that far with them. He signed a lot of
executive orders can be rescinded later on.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Things have to be codified.
That's why I don't like them. But I think that's the cause of the few number of bills that were passed.
Well, okay. I only heard about this blue. What is it? Blue chip or blue slip thing today. The blue slip is where there are hundreds of vacancies in the judiciary, and Trump is not able to appoint the judges as he is supposed to be able to constitutionally, because the Democrats are objecting to it and not allowing these appointments. Okay. He can't even, he couldn't even get a guy to be the chaplain for Congress.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Come on.
The situation with Trump is like this. Just imagine you go to a race and all the main players are race car drivers. The fact of the matter is, race car driver requires everything underneath him to work. All those teams, all those people
in unison
make things happen. And the thing is, the Democrats are in a stronger position. They have the infrastructure designed in such a way that they can constantly cause misery. There's this woman she's a judge in I believe, Colorado. 43 times she's actually gone after Trump and accused him of, sued him and this, that, and the other thing. 43 times. And she's a judge. And what's she doing? Why is she there? She's there to go ahead and manage the courts. Well, guess what? Trump ain't in her court, but she's suing him, and she's spending the time and energy and those resources in order to sue.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
taxpayer dollars. She's
Right.
wasting.
So the point is that the misuse of government by anybody is deplorable. Now, I can understand why Nick is unhappy. And the fact of the matter is, it wasn't until 2016 that I actually became politically interested. I was a firm believer that the political arena was just a bunch of good old boys sitting in the back room making decisions as to who's going to run, who's going to win that race, who's going to get this, who's going to. In other words, they would divvy things up the same way that I saw people divvy things up in my business that I used to work in.
That's how the Uniparty works.
Yeah. So the thing is that how much authority do the American people have on the end results? And the answer is very little. We get to vote for our representatives, and we cross our fingers and hope that our representatives are not schiaves. That's an Italian term for those of you that aren't. But anyway,
It's
uncool, right?
basically, I can translate. Basically, it means not exactly, but it means scumbag.
Yeah,
Okay?
amazing.
Yeah, skeevy is like disgusting, slimy. Yeah, but the thing is that this is one of the reasons why I wanted Nick on. It's because this is Nick. This is an intervention. We're here to get you to vote again, and I've said my piece. Roy, you have to say your piece on this intervention.
Well, I did say that because I said if Nick doesn't vote, then his crazy blue-haired female neighbor is going to go and vote, and I have 2 granddaughters, and I want them to have the right to vote and everything. But unfortunately, as some people have been saying in the last couple of years, and as some people predicted long ago, the white liberal women are the enemy of common sense. They go by feelings, and they vote through their feelings, and so they vote against everything that vote against many things that should be common sense and should be voted for. They'll vote against it, and vice versa. They're the ones who don't like the way Trump speaks. He does terrible tweets and this that mean. Fuck you. Okay, he's speaking honestly now. Well, and I've said this before. I said this at the beginning of my of this podcast 2 years ago. All my life, I heard people complaining, "Oh, politicians never tell you what they're really thinking. They lie to you all the time." Along comes Trump. He's telling you exactly what he thinks, and he's trying, at least if he doesn't succeed, he tries to do what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
And people are pissed off at him.
Yeah.
And especially in New York, where he's from, they don't like the way he talks. Well, you know what? Everybody in New York talks like that. Everybody in northern New Jersey talks like that. Fuck you.
That downfall.
I'm sorry. I'm getting pissed off. I'm getting pissed off. This has not been a good weekend for me either.
The downfall of Trump in New York is amazing to me. He was so loved in New York. I lived in New York. Everybody loved him.
Jesse Jackson, and I saw a picture of him with Jesse sitting next to Jesse Jackson, and Al Sharpton behind him talking to him with his hand on his shoulder. That's before Trump became a racist, before he became a Republican.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and he had to become a Republican to run because the Democrats wouldn't put him on the ticket because, no, their girl Hillary was next. That was preordained.
Yeah.
Preordained.
No, that's the people that didn't like Trump made him a racist. That's what they did. He's not a racist.
Every friggin' rapper used to use Trump's name in their songs. Trump was cool.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now it's starting to turn too, because remember Snoop Dogg? He did that thing about killing Trump and so forth. He did a little play with a video.
Was that him who did that?
Now, well, that was him. And was the ugly bitch had his head in her hand.
Yeah.
But he did that, the assassination of Donald Trump, I think it was.
Right.
And now he's a Trump supporter. I'm going to ignore these things here. Anyway,
somebody's outside blowing the horn or something.
Why do you think it'll be better if you don't vote than if you do vote? even if you don't think your vote's going to count that much.
I don't think it's going to be better for the country. My vote is not going to make a difference one way or the other. But I think it would be psychologically, it would be better for me. You know, I do my taxes every year, and there's always that box that you want to check. You want to donate $1 to, or maybe it's up to $3 now, whatever it is.
Yeah, between $1 and $3.
I want to scratch that fucking thing off so bad. Every time I see that, how fucking dare you ask me for my money for your political campaigns and stuff? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Well,
get your own money for campaign.
Supposedly, that was to eventually eliminate private donations and make everybody equal. It's not working. Hasn't worked in the years it's been on there.
No, it's been around for a while now too. So.
The problem is that you're paying mostly for the organization.
Yeah, I know. Look, every organization, every political campaign, obviously costs tons of money. I do think. I mean, I know that there are corporate donors who are allowed to donate a certain amount, right? Individuals also can only donate a certain amount, right? It's not unlimited, but they could. I don't know what the numbers are. Do you know?
I forget the numbers, but it's not that much. Even individuals, I think it's under 2,000. I'm not sure.
I think so.
You know,
yeah.
The corporations are bound by. I don't know if they have a higher threshold or a lower threshold.
Right.
I don't know. But corporations maybe should not be allowed to do it. Wasn't that the thing that came in under George W. Bush that made corporations persons or something? The Supreme Court, I think, ruled that way, right?
Yeah. Maybe they shouldn't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. See, what will make a difference? That's what I need to know. What's going to make a difference in election year, whether it be midterm elections or whatever? What is going to make a difference that's going to change the way these politicians do business? And the only answer I can come up with is nothing.
I'll give you an answer.
Go ahead.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. There's two things that you can do to make a difference. You can make a difference outside yourself, or you can make a difference inside yourself. If you go ahead and you vote, regardless of whether or not you end up voting for the subject that succeeded, the fact of the matter is you did follow your conscience. And that is rewarding enough, because the more we follow our personal conscience, the more complete and honest we are internally.
Okay.
Well, also, you got to remember, a lot of votes come from a lot of small towns or counties are often decided by just a few votes. And I remember there was a story about one vote took a certain county out west somewhere. I forget where. I think it was in Colorado. Okay, so one vote, and a lot of Republicans did not go out and vote that time. They could have turned the election if just two people had gone out and voted. But about I think a couple of hundred people who should have voted, could have voted, did not go. So they lost by one vote. And that happens up in New Hampshire, for example. In New Hampshire, on the first day, they're the first ones to vote. And what happens is there's one town there that kind of sets the stage for New Hampshire. And it used to be that it was always Republican overwhelmingly. The last few years, it's Democrat now. And the votes are very, very close. So if you get one or two people who can't get to the poll or refuse to go to the poll, the other side gets that vote.
Yeah. And, as I said before, I'm such a big supporter, and I yell at people because they don't vote their local and state elections. I tell them how important it is to local elections, especially. It's
more important than the national ones.
Right. It's so important because that affects me directly. The way I vote in my county, that affects me. And for people that are selfish, I'm not really selfish, but the people that are selfish, what more do you want? What more do you want than the ability to change something and say, Well, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for my children. I'm doing this for my family.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I mean that's a great thing. So
Listen, and I think you have to add one more thing. You're doing it for yourself, because you're following your conscience.
I did that for years.
I
Ever
know.
since I was able to vote, I've been doing that.
Hey, and you got Trump. Congratulations, you did a good job.
Right.
You know,
Unfortunately,
one thing that would make a big difference, but we'd need a constitutional convention. And there's a convention of states. They've already signed up. I don't know how many states. They need a few more before they can get a constitutional convention. And that would be repealing, I don't know if it's the 17th or 18th Amendment that made senators subject to public voting rather than being appointed as they originally were by the states. Now, if you'd gone by the Virginia plan before the Constitution was amended and everything, then Congress, we would have had a tyranny of the majority because the congressional reps would vote on everything. But to protect the smaller states like Rhode Island and others, New Jersey at the time, they put senators in. The senators were appointed by the state legislature. Now, the state legislature may be Democrat, and you're going to get stuck with Democrat senators, like we are now. Nothing different in New Jersey. Yep. But you might get some state where the Republican takes over the legislature, and then they would pick 2 Republican representatives. And if they do well, then the Republicans would get reelected and keep those guys in power. But what happens with the public elections, people like Schumer and others, they're going across the country to California, Las Vegas, and having dinners, fundraising dinners all the time. 90% of their time is spent fundraising. Instead of working for the interests of their state, they are collecting money, and a lot of that money is from special interest groups, which are going to have them vote in a way that is not necessarily in favor of the people of their state.
I think we should eradicate the 19th Amendment.
Is it the 19th?
Yes.
Oh, that's women's.
Was that the 19th?
Women's vote. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at before. I'm sorry, but women have fucked up the vote because they don't have skin in the game, and they go by whatchamacallit, by their feelings instead of looking at the thing subjectively. Not all.
A lot of times they go by the look of the politician. Oh, he's handsome. I'm going to vote for him.
Why do you think Mickey Sherrill was elected in New Jersey? Mikey Sherrill was elected in New Jersey because she's a woman, 1. 2, she's not that bad looking, even though she's flat as an ironing board. Okay. But, Jack Citarelli would have been a much better candidate. And for us gun owners, he would have been perfect. All right.
Yeah, that race may have actually been tampered with.
Yeah.
What's that?
The race may have been tampered with.
Oh, probably. In New Jersey, I'm sure it was.
Well, are most women voting for women when they have the opportunity?
I think
I don't know
most
the breakdown.
Only the conservative ones do not. The ones who are conservative, they'll vote, not because their husband is conservative, but they believe in that, in family and traditional values and so forth. Okay.
So we should allow the smart women to vote then.
Only, yeah, but how do you tell them? Well, if they don't have blue hair or purple hair,
you're gonna let both of them vote?
No, if they have purple hair and shit, that. Oh no, this vote shouldn't count.
Can't vote.
Well, here's the thing: you talk about emotions and stuff. I'm not opposed to emotions. I think emotions are an excellent way of navigating. I think the problem is not that they are following emotions. The problem is that their emotions are guided by wrong thinking, by it lies,
Propaganda.
And their axioms are crooked, such as, if you think that all men are toxic because of their masculine nature, then you've got a problem, especially if you're in the middle of a subway, and all of a sudden somebody starts pushing you around, and you expect a man to step in for you. Well, I'm sorry, but you can't have it both ways. You can't have men be dominant and then not dominant at the same time.
Yep, I know.
I saw a short on YouTube about that where this woman was eating, and all of a sudden she starts choking. She starts choking because something's stuck in her throat. So a guy says, "I got this," and he gets behind her and does the Heimlich maneuver. She spits out the thing, and she goes, "You pervert! No, I didn't give you permission to touch me."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Nick knows about this. If you do CPR incorrectly and the person gets injured, they can sue you.
Sure they can. Yep.
Even if you're a doctor.
Well, that's why when I had the ambulance company, all our EMTs had to have malpractice insurance. You know what that cost us?
A lot of money.
Unbelievable amount of money.
Yeah, because they don't put caps on what they can collect.
Right. Yep.
I mean, if you kill somebody, it should be really high. Or if you maim somebody for life. But if you do something where it's going to be uncomfortable or they're going to be scarred for a little while, that shouldn't be in the millions or tens of millions.
If they saved your life, I think that's the lesser price to pay.
Exactly. Well, it depends on family members how much they like you or not.
But what about Rob Reiner? His supposedly was murdered by his son, and his wife was murdered by his son.
That was a terrible thing. Look, I'm a fan of his movie making, not necessarily the way he feels about things, but I think Trump was so out of line by what he'd said.
What did he say?
I don't agree with what he said about that.
I think it was disgusting.
What did he say? I didn't hear it.
Well, what he said basically, it was a sad thing. He claimed that Reiner had the Trump derangement syndrome, number one. But what he said was that the reason why he was killed is because of all the hate he spews and all his policies on certain things. And that's why he was killed. But we don't know that. His son killed him. Why did his son kill them? Did his son kill him?
We have 17 times.
One of the reasons why I brought up the subject of Rob Reiner is my thought is that the parents that created the son that assassinates you, they're responsible for having created that creature. The idea that he was raised by misdirected outside, I don't know. But all I know is my question is is this the case of a bad parenting that bit them in the ass? Because if you're really vile to your kids, they will hate you, and if they hate you enough, they might want to kill you.
Yeah, well, and that's my point, though. What Trump said was so out of line. I mean, maybe the kid was molested his whole life by Rob Reiner. Maybe he was molested by his father. Who knows? I don't know. But certainly Trump doesn't know, and he had really no business getting involved in that at all, making any kind of statement.
No.
If somebody
I think he meant to say what Mike said, but he said it in a very bad way.
It was bad. It was bad. So I'm not going to give him a pass on this one, though. He really fucked up this time.
Well, murder is murder.
It's not that.
I can't agree with murder.
And you know what?
But I didn't cry a tear when I found out it was Rob Reiner.
Well, I don't like Rob Reiner. I love his films, Princess Bride and Harry Met Sally, A Few Good Men, and there were a couple of others that I was surprised it was him who did it. They're really good films, but he was an asshole. Okay?
That's true for the left a lot,
and I couldn't stand him. But I couldn't stand him politically or personally because of that. But I didn't want something like this to happen to him.
No, look, just like, nobody ever wanted anything to happen to Charlie Kirk either. Decent people didn't want anything to happen to Charlie Kirk. Now, there are a lot of non-decent people out there who really didn't give a shit one way or the other.
Especially on the left.
Absolutely. And, but that was, we're still all reeling from that terrible, terrible situation. I still watch the videos and I'm amazed. I'm amazed of his brilliance. I'm amazed of his knowledge of the Bible and the way things work. And just how on a very very common level that if people would just shut the fuck up for 5 minutes and listen to him, listen to what people are saying, uh, I'm telling you, the world would be different.
Did you see what he did at Oxford University? He shot down every single antagonistic question that they directed at him,
I saw that.
and
I
he
saw
did
that.
it logically and
But he does it in
beautifully.
such a way where he's not uh, uh,
Confrontational.
Yeah, not
confrontational.
attacking you.
He's not attacking you personally.
Right.
He's attacking what you're saying, what you think your belief is. And a lot of people don't even know that that's their belief. But
Yeah.
they get all this outside information from social media and their friends and this one. People don't even know what the fuck to think anymore.
But at least Charlie Kirk was murdered by a stranger. The patricide and matricide is one of the most vilest forms of wrongdoing that you could possibly. You're killing the very thing that brought you into being,
Yeah.
and just that must be. I mean, if I can't imagine the thoughts going through Rob Reiner's mind, but the first thing that I would think if I was a parent and I was getting my throat cut by my son or daughter,
Yeah.
I'd think, you fucking bitch, or you son of a bitch. I should have never gave birth to you. And it is just, it is a vile act magnified in a vile way.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Very, very bad. Before we leave about talking about the women, I'm not bashing women or anything.
Why not?
I've never been married. I wanted to be married. It just didn't work out. But so I have to tell you this little story. Not a story, but it's an observation. So they have these shows like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. But The Bachelor, particularly, I know women who have to drop what they're doing and sit in front of the TV to watch that show.
Okay.
I decided I would watch it one night. It is the most fucking demeaning thing to women. I don't know how women can say that they enjoy watching it. And it set women back 100 years watching that shit and doing the things that they do.
I can explain it. I can explain it to you.
Please do.
Okay. As you said, you haven't been married. I've been married twice. And you said it's demeaning and you can't understand that. The fact of the matter is, both women that I married were absolutely convinced that marrying me was the most demeaning thing that they could ever do. And they stayed with me because they understood the meaning of demeaning.
Okay. I accept that. But no, I'm just amazed with even in my life, I have a sister and her daughter, my niece. I mean, it's like the end all and be all. It's The Bachelor. And on certain shows, there'll be a show where he goes in to a hotel and he sleeps with all these women. I mean, are you fucking kidding me?
How can I get on that show?
Yeah. Maybe I'm jealous. Maybe that's why I'm getting angry.
What is Nagy's first name? The lady that we interviewed?
Which one?
Nagy.
Oh, Tony Nagy.
Tony.
Okay.
Tony Nagy and
I think it was Tony Nagy that was doing a stand-up comedy routine, and she was talking about making love to various types of men, and she didn't want to be married. She didn't want to make love to a nice man because they weren't scary enough to get her to come. So there's your answer, Nick.
I'm telling you.
Literally from the mouth of babes.
Yeah, and you know what the worst part is? These women will complain about toxic masculinity, as you said before. But on the other hand, they complain they can't find a real man because all these guys in their generation are pussies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they don't want anything to do with them because they can smell their toxic femininity. Actually, It's not even feminine. True femininity is a wonderful, beautiful thing.
Well, why do you think a lot of guys are now dating AIs rather than dating real women?
Yeah, I guess.
They're
Because there's no
afraid to
difference.
deal with these women because, like that short that I told you about, which made fun of things. Unfortunately, that happens. You touch somebody the wrong way, and you're going to get in trouble. You're in a car, let's say you're in a car or something, and the car stops short. You go like this, you're copping a feel. No,
Well-
I'm keeping you from banging
Well,
your head into the
thing is,
dashboard.
a lot of times they're not even, they don't even personally feel, this is my opinion, they don't feel as though they've been imposed upon. They just see it as an opportunity to make a couple of bucks.
Some women, yes,
Very well,
there
Just
there are too
dominate
many
you
like
and
that.
destroy you. Because there's some,
Like
some
that picture
women
line
out there
about
that
Trump
just-
screwing her in Bloomingdale's.
yeah.
but
What-
I mean,
why do so many women? Why do so many women have Gloria Allred's phone number on their cell phones on speed dial? She's the fucking worst.
I'm surprised she's not. They never put her on The View.
You're
I
right.
mean, as a panelist, I think she's been there.
It might
What about
even be too
Maxine
much for
Waters?
them.
She's a,
It might,
she's,
yeah,
she's
same
a
thing.
sweetheart.
Yeah,
Oh my God, the Predator's mother.
She looks like a Klingon. She's got
She looks like the Predator, man. The Predator looks better, even with the little claws on his mouth. Okay, she is one ugly woman. I'm sorry.
and we see them with makeup.
more than one way.
You know,
Yeah,
we see them
Yeah.
when they have makeup on. God only knows what they look like without makeup.
oh my goodness, yeah.
I tell you, you get a heart attack if you saw that.
Yeah,
That's it. You see that and you go, that's it. I'm going to end my life right at the freaking window.
yeah.
Well, like Paul Pelosi. I mean, instead of, he got so sick of banging that hag that he had to bang that he went out and started picking up men.
Well, yeah, and he got banged with a hammer.
Yeah.
Maxwell Silver hammer came down on his
Yeah,
head.
they didn't say anything about that. Oh, that's not right. This and that. But they'll say much more terrible things about President Trump without any proof at all,
Oh yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
okay with it.
Well, interpretation.
People are
They
just
just don't
grabbing
like
at
the man.
straws. People are
They just
grabbing
don't
at
like it.
straws. They don't know which way to go.
Yeah.
I
Last
so
time that we
with all that being said, I pretty much I know me pretty well, and the way I'm feeling now, I'm not going to be feeling at the next election. I know I will vote again. As much as I say
Okay.
I'm never going to, you know,
anger of the moment.
it is. But I've been angry. This is a long time for me, and really to the point where I watch very little news anymore. I used to watch C-SPAN in the mornings. I kind of like their call-in show at 7:00 in the morning. They have people from all over the country call in and discuss things that are going on and all that. But and they separate it with Republicans, Democrats, Independents. But some of it is very funny. When you hear some of these Democrats, it just makes you wonder how they're even functioning in life.
You
Yeah,
might
right.
consider the possibility of looking up a news service called Informed, which is they send you newscasts on your phone, and they basically digest everything, and they send you basically an unopinionated view, text and so forth like that of the major events. And the truth of the matter is, it's not inflammatory. It's like you read it and you go, So that would keep you informed,
Well,
and it's convenient because
Without
they send it
giving
to
you
your
an
phone.
opinion to-
But that's
Yes.
how I find C-SPAN. I find C-SPAN to be that way. I'm very happy with C-SPAN. But
Okay.
it's the callers they have calling in that I have to laugh about sometimes. And then you have some people that call in, very smart people, independents, Republicans, that really have such great ideas,
Uh-huh.
And the host, the one who's taking the calls, they don't comment on, say, well, you should do this. Or they don't make any statement like that. They just give you the information, and you do what you want.
They give you the information, and they give you a platform if you call
Yeah.
in.
Exactly,
Okay.
which is great.
What the heck happened there? Anyway, do you know the last time I used to watch TV regularly at 7 a.m. I was in grammar school, and I used to watch Sunrise Semester.
Oh, yeah.
That might have been at 6 a.m., in fact. I'm
I
not
think it
sure.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I get up at between 3 and 4 every day.
Wasn't there also a Modern Farmer on Saturdays at 5 in the morning?
Saturdays or Sundays, yeah.
The
They're all
Modern
those
Farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like a farm report for.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. The farm
Yeah.
report for
Yeah.
weather and so forth.
Sure.
Yeah.
It was like the TV version of Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah, which is dead. I
Yeah.
haven't seen the Farmer's Almanac in a long time.
No, I've
Well,
seen it. They still sell it. They still sell it. Now they got it online, I believe.
Well, this is the last year. They're not publishing anymore. Starting next year, they're not going to publish.
Well, yeah, I think I saw something where they're going to be strictly online from now on.
Okay.
Because people aren't buying books like
No.
they used to.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I like the feel of a book. I still like it. I prefer that to reading. I mean, I got Kindle. I've got an iPad. I sometimes read stuff on. But you know what I do have also. I have something called Speechify, and if I have a book, if I own a book, I can tell the thing to just read it to me. So I'll
Really?
put the phone down. I'll be doing cooking or cleaning or doing whatever I'm doing, and I'll have the book being read to me, so I don't have to sit down and actually devote all
that's
my
good.
attention to it.
Right. Let me ask you a question. Given the lighting, doesn't Nick look like he's the Matthew the apostle?
No, you know what
Actually,
it is. You know what it is. He smokes so much, he's in a haze.
No, I didn't notice that. I didn't even look at me. I didn't notice. Maybe if I do this, it'll help.
Oh no! See that? Look, the guitars are in perfect focus. You know what, Nick? I think if you move back a little bit, you got light. No. Get in front of the camera.
I was pretty.
I think
that.
do you have a drape that you could cover the window?
It doesn't matter. We're not going to be on for much
No, I
longer.
have a blind. A blind.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I have blinds too, but sometimes it comes through too much. That's why I had to put this light on to counter that.
Okay. Yeah.
But because that's what's screwing up your video.
Yeah. And I have the sun coming right in this way too. So.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah.
Lord.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next time you come back, and I hope there'll be a next time.
Yeah. Well.
This is your third appearance, right?
This is third. Yes.
And now I'm worried. I'm worried now, though,
Why?
because last time we had you on once, and then you had to come right back on because Charlie Kirk had been assassinated.
Yes.
And we
right.
talked about that. I hope to God that we don't have something urgent that we have to bring you back on later.
Well, I hope not either. So, but
And if it happens, it's going to have to be after 5 because 4 o'clock we got another
yes,
guest.
I know. All right, but
if we call you, it'll be for after 6.
yeah, but just let me know. Give me a heads up if something terrible happens. You know.
Well, you'll know.
Really good.
We will.
Yeah. No, I'll be listening.
Anyway, anything else you want to say to the viewers? Oh, okay. Give us your opinion of the podcast. Mike keeps telling me, Nick says this, Nick says that. I want to hear it from you, and I want our viewers to hear.
All right. Well, I'll tell you. You know, I get sometimes I forget to listen. You know, at certain time, I never know what days it's on, so I always go to your site and see if there's a new podcast up.
Mm-hmm.
But I was telling Mike the other day, I find that even your guests have been very good guests, all of them. And I think I don't know how you pick them, but you pick them very well. And I think the knowledge that the both of you have, along with your guests, I find it very, very informative. And I think it's a great podcast. And I do think a lot of people should be watching it. So if there's something I could do to promote it, I'd be more than happy to.
I'm going to have to make this a
like
clip.
if you had regular scheduling, that would make it easier for you.
Well, I have been putting things up on Wednesday mornings or Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, today, since we have you on today, and we have 2 more guests this week, one today, one tomorrow, I'm going to schedule you for tonight. And on Rumble, at least I have the opportunity to notify people by email that, hey, this is up.
Good. Yeah.
Where do you watch the podcast? What platform?
I've been watching it on YouTube, but I use Spotify a lot too.
Okay. Spotify, I don't think I have an option to notify people, but I'm going to put you up probably tonight. Our guest tomorrow, I will probably publish him on Thursday so that, because you have to have at least 24 hours before between shows before you can send out an email. And
Now,
then,
who's your upcoming guest tomorrow?
Today we have
Tonight, who do you have tonight?
Yeah, tonight. Oh my God, Jesus.
Drew Allen.
Drew Allen is I was confused because
tomorrow.
Drew Allen's tomorrow. Drew Allen is tomorrow. Steve Bonta today, and he is a representative of the John Birch Society.
He's the executive senior editor of the New American, New American, and he's lived in Argentina, Spain, India, Sri Lanka. Man, that's a tough one to say. China. He's got degrees in literature and linguistics from Cornell. He's
going to be a good one.
Yeah,
and he's a member of the John Birch Society, which the mainstream media will still tell you, and they've been telling me all my life, is a racist organization.
Yeah,
and it's not.
I know. Yeah,
Mike and I found out recently it's not.
He's written a book called he's the author of The Inside of the United Nations. So the thing is, United Nations is an extremely corrupt organization, and in exploring his work and other people's works, I've come to the conclusion that the United Nations is the enemy of the United States.
Oh, definitely. Oh, wow.
See? What a difference.
You see Nick much more clearly now. You got to add it.
No, is that what he looks like? We want that. Go back to the filter.
How do you promote who your guests are going to be? Like on your
We're going to do a video on that.
Okay.
How do we promote, or how do we get them?
No, how do you promote, like, for the people who follow your podcast? How do you let them know what's coming up?
Put up the podcast, and fortunately, recently we've exploded. I keep getting emails. I keep getting comments and emails from people who want to help us promote to produce and promote the podcast.
Terrific.
But I don't need them. We're both retired. I'm on a limited income. I don't have the money to spend thousands for somebody to produce it. I could do it myself. And it's been because of Mike and I sometimes debate, what are we going to call this podcast before we come up with a name? And the name has a lot to do with it. Plus, the keywords I put in bring a lot of people. And so we've had, I put it on different platforms. Now we're also publishing on a place called baaaack.com. And Pickaxe is a free speech thing, even more free speech, I think, than X. X, in fact, has been annoying me because sometimes it won't let me post something, puts it in drafts. Okay. And just 2 weeks ago, I was suspended because I just said something, somebody had threatened Christians and so forth. And I just said something back that he oh, no, it was in England. I'm sorry. I said that these guys, the leadership should go to the gallows. They suspended me for another 8 days.
Wow.
Okay? So,
wow.
But yeah, I believe that the leadership in England and all those bobbies should be fired and put on trial.
Yeah.
But the thing is that this all started with Stephen Miller. That was our first real interview. When I say real, I mean a person that is famous, and that kind of, it rolled off from there. But Roy's the one who does basically all that, and the way that we reward them is we put them on our website, and we put some links there, and that hopefully increase their reach.
Yeah, we don't have a website for you. Do you have your porn video website that we can put under your interview?
I don't. But again, I find I could say that I appreciate your efforts in what you guys do, because I think it's very worthwhile, and I think you do a great job.
Thank you.
on that
Yeah,
note.
see, I'm going to have to publish some of these clips. This is another way I've started. Little by little, I'm doing it. The program lets me get clips. It picks the clips, but then I'll pick the ones that, like, I'm going to try and pick this clip up and put it on the social media I post on as a little ad. Okay.
Terrific. Yeah. Feel free.
Mike keeps disappearing. He thinks he's the invisible man.
He is.
I am sometimes. So I guess that's it for
Okay.
today.
Yeah.
So, okay. It was great having you on again. Folks,
Okay.
again, if you enjoyed this show, please give us a 5 stars. Rate us. It only takes a minute to give us a rating and to give us a review, I mean, and share it with everybody you know. Okay?
Right.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you again next time.
Thanks.
on The
Thanks
View
for
from
having me.
Here.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on.
You bet.
Okay? Take care. Oh,
Okay.
here we go. Let me stop this. Doom.